Marcus Aurelius once wrote that the best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury, a sentiment that feels deceptively simple until you apply it to a modern boardroom or a fractured social circle where every gesture is a calculated move for dominance. Imagine a high-stakes conversation where a peer attempts to undermine your position with a subtle, backhanded compliment. The common reaction is to offer a defensive explanation or a sharp retort, but the Stoic Edge suggests a more unsettling path, the path of absolute, unreactive stillness. We live in an era of hyper-performative emotion, where the loudest person in the room is often mistaken for the most powerful. Yet the truly sovereign individual understands that every outburst is a leak in the internal fortress. To master human interaction is not to manipulate others into submission, but to recognize the subliminal power dynamics that govern their behavior, turning your own mind into a mirror that reflects their insecurities back at them without absorbing their heat. Truth number 1. Your need for validation is the leash others use to lead you. Observe the person who constantly seeks agreement in a meeting or a dinner. Notice how their eyes dart toward the most influential person after they speak, looking for a nod or a smile to confirm their worth. When you withdraw that nod, you create a psychological vacuum that forces them to reveal their desperation. Truth number 2. Anger is always a confession of weakness. When someone attempts to provoke you, they are essentially testing to see if you are a puppet they can control with the right strings of insult or ego. Watch the hands of a man who is losing his temper. If they are clenched or trembling, he has already surrendered his agency to the situation. By remaining calm, you signal to the room that your internal state is not for sale, a realization that is deeply uncomfortable for those who rely on conflict to feel alive. Truth number 3. Most people are not listening to you, they are merely waiting for their turn to be seen. If you want to see through the facade of any person, simply stop talking and observe how long they can endure the silence before they start oversharing their insecurities to fill the void. Truth number 4. The micro-withdrawal of attention is the most potent boundary. In a world of digital noise and constant availability, the person who can endure their own company in silence becomes a mystery that others feel a predatory need to solve. Truth number 5. Recognize the theater of the victim. Many people use their trauma or their perceived struggles as a currency to buy your compliance and guilt-trip you into servitude. A Stoic observes the pattern of the complaint. If the person seeks a villain rather than a solution, they are not looking for help, they are looking for a host. Truth number 6. Fame and reputation are the possessions of others, not your own. What people think of you exists only in their minds, a chaotic space you can never fully govern. To chase their approval is to build your house on a shifting sand dune. Notice how a person's posture changes when they think they are being watched by someone they admire. This is the physical manifestation of a soul in shackles. Truth number 7. Extreme kindness is often a predatory shield for hidden envy. Observe the friend who is too happy for your success, whose praise feels repetitive and hollow. If their eyes remain cold while their mouth is smiling, they are merely indexing your progress to calculate how far behind they have fallen. Truth number 8. Silence is a vacuum that pulls the truth out of the deceptive. When you suspect a lie, do not argue. Simply look the person in the eye and remain silent for 3 seconds longer than is socially comfortable. Their need to justify themselves will cause the facade to fracture, revealing the subliminal tension they are trying to hide. Truth number 9. Hedonic adaptation applies to relationships just as it does to wealth. The person who treats you like a deity today will eventually find your presence mundane unless you maintain a core of unreachable mystery. Do not reveal the entirety of your soul to anyone. Keep a hidden chamber that is for you alone. Truth number 10. Mastery of the room begins with the mastery of the mirror. You cannot read the patterns of others if you are still a slave to your own unhealed triggers and impulsive reactions. Once you see that most human behavior is merely a series of automated responses to internal pain, the mystery of the world vanishes, and you are left with a quiet, melancholic clarity. In the end, the Stoic Edge is not about being a statue, but about being the stone that the waves of social theater cannot move. When you stop needing the world to be different, the world loses its power to haunt you. You realize that the only person worth mastering is the one you see when the masks are finally laid aside. Remain observant, remain detached. Welcome to the light of the dark.